Real Rock 1039 The Bear. I'm a very excited young man today, or an old man, I guess, myself, because I never thought I'd get to see Big Wreck. And when I got a copy of the album Albatross, it was my go-to album to clean my Harley with, because I could let it play for 3-4 times, and each time I would discover something special. Man, really congratulations to something, really a great record. And America, you better get it right.
Yeah, thanks very much, man. I'm really proud of the record. So hearing stuff like that is kind of like makes all the work worth it, you know. Whether or not it does what certain people want it to do, I'm just happy with the work itself. So
you really much should be, because I mean, I've told so many people about it. Not so many times I get a record in my hand that I feel is a piece of art, because every single song, the lyrics, the melodies, the order of the songs on the record, I mean, the tones, everything. It was very special.
Well, I think that might be something that's being forgotten about nowadays in making rock and roll records, is attention to detail, but the wrong details. I think nowadays it's more about the detail in the lyric and the sort of bumper sticker hook line for the chorus. And I prefer the detail of the overall sound and feel of the record, and you know, just focusing on that. It was really easy to make and just a joy to make. So it feels right. Right?
Well, what brought Big Wreck back together, and why such like a 9-10 year break?
Well, I think we got. I won't get into the initial breakup, but what brought it back was I just really missed Brian. Like, you know, there's a deep-rooted friendship that was forged over many years in college and afterwards, and then all the Big Wreck stuff. So when we split and parted ways, we'd talk every couple of years for, like, you know, a Christmas, hey, happy Christmas to your family and all that. But I just really missed him, so I just blew in a call one day and we started hanging out, and sort of at similar points in our lives and in our personal lives. And then it really stemmed from that. It was a real sort of organic growth into, why don't we just call this record? It was Nick's idea to call it a Big Wreck album. I was like, sure, man. Actually, I didn't say sure. I was like, the other guys aren't here. But the music started to have that sound and feel to it. So yeah, I mean, you know, essentially it's still the music and the way it sounds and the way it feels is going to be the same, because the core is there. So yeah, it was that's how it grew into that.
Well, I noticed you guys have been doing a lot of dates in Canada, and I got out there and I saw the set. That was not long enough for me, man.
Oh, me neither. But it's early, so it's hard for me to wake up and sing. I'm not young, so but I was really impressed with the audience reception. It was way more than I expected. People singing along and people with T-shirts and the whole bit. It was great. I can't complain. I would have loved to still be playing now, but you know, I ain't Bruce Springsteen.
There's always next year too.
I'll be Bruce next year.
Okay. But you know, Albatross is a record that I don't believe you listen to on shuffle. It's really, I like the order of the songs. You guys spend really a lot of time, and there's flow to that record.
Yeah, there was a lot of back and forth discussion between Nick and myself and Eric Ratz, the three of us, sort of how we wanted the arc of the record to, how we wanted to come open up and close and feel and ebb and flow. But yeah, that's another lost art form. It's usually just pack the hits up towards the front and then let it ride out. Whereas I like the way it's put together.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but it seems like there may be a few nods on that record. Maybe Mr. Jimmy Page, maybe Mark Knopfler, maybe even Billy Gibbons. But I mean that in a much respectful way. And those tones, and it was just such a joy.
I've never been one to. No, I'm not trying to sound like ZZ Top. Like, of course, it's obvious to me. It's an obvious tip of the hat out of. It's an homage, if you will, to Billy Gibbons. It caught my eye, or Jimmy Page in more than a few places. And the Knopfler thing, it's like, yeah, totally. That's how the song was born, out of like, what if I just grabbed a Strat and started riffing over it? And sometimes when I grab a Strat, it starts sounding like Knopfler. So.
You know, with tracks like Glass Room, Rest of the World, Do What You Will, Time, the title track, this record wasn't written overnight, was it?
No. A lot of the ideas have been around for a while. I think fleshing them out came together fairly quickly. But some of the actual riffs, and like Albatross, that riff has been around since at least the first Big Wreck album. Like just that little motif, the little ascending motif has been there forever and just never found a home. I've tried to put it in the middle of songs, at the end of songs, at least things that were in the same tuning, and it just never quite fit. And then it was, again about Nick, he's a wonderful song doctor, and just came into pre-production and said, well, what if you tried, and what if you tried with the initial demo that I had, he just sort of did this and put it on its side, and then it was, oh, so it's a Zeppelin tune. Now it makes sense.
Any chance I can get you to teach me that solo to, was it A Million Days?
Sure.
Gosh, man, that solo is so tasty. I was driving my girlfriend's son the other day. I goes, listen to this lead. He goes, oh my God, he's like 11. He's going, that is so good.
Nice.
He's a kid, and he was just like, oh my gosh.
It's just some picking.
I know, but there's flow, and it's just like singing. There's a great building and a climb there. It's just awesome.
But I appreciate that, man. Thanks.
I do. I really mean it. I don't normally get this gushy in an interview, but man, what a great album. I'm not kidding you, man.
It feels great over here.
I would have loved to seen you before Alice in Chains tonight, somewhere in there or in Soundgarden, because that's where you guys deserve to be, in my book.
And Seven does too. I see their name over there.
Oh, and them's my boys.
Those guys, way later, and I love that band.
I know. I saw you. Like, hey, let's go see Seven Dust when you guys were playing. So that's a great thing. Well, Ian, it's a privilege and a pleasure. Thank you so much, man. And keep doing this. And we'd love to have you come to South Bend sometime, man. I really would.
Love to be there.
Well, thank you so much. Ian Thornley of Big Wreck. You buy this record, you go buy those old records, and enjoy some real music from some people who know how to get it done. I'm Tommy. This is Real Rock 103.9 The Bear.